I have been a partner for a long time and have had a lot of partners for a long time. I have found that the key to successful partnerships, whether it is within groups I've been with or any groups that we may be helping to form, it is very much about creating expectations, communicating those expectations, delineating responsibilities, and setting goals and time frames. If you can set those things out early on in advance and create a mission around that, then you can achieve a lot of things. Without mission, it is very difficult to create the energy over a long period of time to be able to work toward or achieve anything. If you're seeking something meaningful and you're doing it as a team and you're very focused on what your role is in that, it's limitless as far as what can be created and what can be accomplished. And if you're doing that, like in what we're doing, we're trying to preserve what has been built within so many communities by so many doctors over a long period of time, it is really compelling to bring those folks together and let them realize dentistry in your geographic area, it is in your hands. You can determine the future for your patients. You can determine the future for your staff. You can choose and, you do not have to choose or. It's not about, do I take the money or do I preserve dentistry? Do I take the money or do I protect my staff? Do I take the money or do I take care of my patients even after I retire? You choose and that's what we're about. We're about preserving and creating what you want for yourself while also being able to live out those core values through your retirement and not just until your retirement. Where PepperPointe is very similar to a lot of dental partnership organizations or dental service organizations or whatever the phrase is that we're using today, we provide a lot of the back office support, such as payroll administration, employee benefits administration, the finance, the operations side of things, helping with the marketing plans. All of those things we provide just as most any other do. I do believe we provide that at a higher level than any I've seen thus far. The original consolidation that occurred in Kentucky with me and my partners, it was very much about people I had known for a long period of time. We had worked together. I knew them. I know their families. I know them personally. There was no way I was ever going to let them down. So with that same thing in mind, that's where we go with everything else. We don't make promises we can't keep. And so we're going to provide that high level of service, but we're going to do it in a framework that the doctors don't have to give up anything. With every other dental service organization, it's pretty much the same thing. Here's a check, here is your new and greatly reduced income, and here is your stock certificate. It is purely an exit strategy. It is, how can I get the greatest value that I can out of what I've built, and I'm really not concerned about where it goes from here. I can tell myself I am, but it's out of my control, so I don't really get to dictate where it's going. We're completely different in that our consolidations really answer the questions that most people are looking to have answered. How can I achieve the protection from the outside sources, all the disruptions that are causing me this death by 1,000 paper cuts? How can I get rid of this night job of all of these business things that I am not trained to do, nor do I really enjoy doing? But then how can I also maintain that complete autonomy, not just in how I practice, but in managing the company and where it's going and the direction that it's going? So with our model, there's not a check up front. There is no reduction in income. In fact, that income increases year over year because of our strong negotiating power in this concentrated geographic formation that we create in various areas of the country so that we can negotiate with third-party payers for higher reimbursement. We can negotiate with vendors and suppliers for equipment and supplies. You can greatly reduce administrative costs. And then from there, you're able to expand your footprint or increase the concentration through acquisitions after that initial closure occurs. So where the great part comes out on the back end of this is you have a known buyer, and it is the group practice. When you get ready to retire, you get to have an increased income all the way through retirement with all of that protection that the group provides. And then when you sell afterwards, you still own your portion of the DSO that answers the question that every single dentist I've ever known has ever asked. How am I going to maintain my lifestyle when I retire? And the answer is through the passive income, through the ownership of the DSO in that geographic area. So really, when it came time for me to try and decide what we were going to do for me and my partners within our group practice, there was really no other option. There was no other and out there. So we were able to choose the financial security, the exit strategy, a pathway to ownership for the next generation of doctors, because when we sell our ownership of the company, it's passed along to the next associate in line within the group to become a partner, thus sustaining the company long term and providing that long-term continuity of care and the commitment to community that the dentists have had such a long-standing history of possessing.